Before this whole Forex thing even came into your life, what was life like for you at that time? Like, what were you up to? Like, what were the plans? Like, what were you doing it before Forex even came into the picture?
No, definitely. So before Forex, even from a young age, so when I was going through sort of like what would be equivalent of high school, and sort of college, university. I never went to college or university. I just went to high school, and even at that time, I always had the mindset that I wanted to do things a bit differently. I wanted to find a more successful route than just the normal 9 to 5.
Right.
So that's why I didn't go to college or university, because I knew I didn't want to. I had no what they call it. I had no motivational drive. It wasn't something that was motivating to me or part of my vision, so I never went down that road. But from there I did all sorts of different jobs, from working in call center and sales to working in restaurants and takeaways, or I had like an off license, a convenience store. It didn't go well. It didn't go well. Massive losses there, but lessons nonetheless. But yeah, that was really it. I was just always trying to find something. I wouldn't say like jumping from thing to thing, but I always thought that I always had this idea in my head that business was the way.
Right.
When I did that convenience store, I learned firsthand, fortunately, of the other side of business that many people don't talk about when it comes to the risk and when it comes to the amount of effort and work that is needed.
A lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. And then, funnily enough, around the same time I got that shop was when I came across Forex. And when I heard of Forex, as I'm sure many people probably can relate, that's when I was like, this is the one. This is the thing that I'm going to put so much energy into and towards, because it just sounds exactly like it ticks all the boxes I've been looking for.
Do you feel like, because in trading, you got to get a lot of stuff under control, your emotions, the type of person you are, do you get angry, all that, like, do you feel like there's some personal changes that came about you as well from trading?
Yes, a lot. I'll say number one, my circle, and that's like, especially with friends, families, and people you hang around. Like, if you have to, on the charts, you have to be good in your life before you get good on the charts.
100%.
You have to be very positive. Like, I changed everything, from the people I look up to, all that, man. You got to be around very positive people, and you have
100%.
to have a very positive mindset. Can't be negative. If you're negative, it'll never work.
What was life like before you found trading? Like, what were you doing?
And life before this, honestly, we struggled. So single mum, grew up, she had to work like 3 jobs just to keep me afloat. We couldn't even afford food. We struggled. It was a very, very tough time. But one of the things is, I always say, even though that's your story and it's your past, you have to accept it, move on, and then tell your new story. But there was two turning points for me in specific. One that changed my mindset, and one that changed like just me full stop. And then the other was that changed me financially. But yeah, I had to have both to make me who I am today. So the first step was first breakup. That's all that how it always happens, right?
Yeah.
The first breakup, and then my uncle passed at the same time. This got deep real quick. My uncle passed, and then my mum went to Hong Kong to the funeral, and then it was December, so I had to spend Christmas by myself. Broken up, depressed. Mum's away, lost a phone number. I was hella depressed. Then I was doing mechanical engineering, and I thought the same thing, shift in my mind. I was like, I'm fed up of fucking being poor. I'm in overdraft, I can't afford food. And I was thinking, with the rich people, I was driving through, there's a place in London called Swiss Cottage, and they're all full of like £1 million houses. And I was thinking, there's nothing different from them, and like say, or me or you. They've got 2 eyes, they've got a brain, they've got hands, legs. Why are they rich and why am I not? And why is my mum not? And then over time, I just think, you know what? Even if I'm poor, at least if I can try, that's all I can do. I can just try. It's better than being poor and not trying.
Right, 100%.
So, well, what I say to all new traders, I think it's extremely important to journal, whether you do that on notes on a MacBook, whether you actually physically write them down, whether you record your trades on Zoom or any other platform. I think it's really important to, first of all, when you're going to go into a trade, take a screenshot. Explain why you're taking that trade, and what are your confluences, how are you feeling, are you angry if you had a good day, what's going on in your life, are you in a good position to be able to read the charts properly. Then take a screenshot after the trade, whether you've won, whether you've lost, whether you've come back out of that trade break even, and again, write down what you see now. Is there something that's happened with price action now? So let's say, for an example, do you keep getting stopped out and then price will go in your direction? So you can go back and look over your trades that you've taken maybe on the weekend, and if you're seeing throughout the week you've taken 3 or 4 trades and prices all wicked you out, and this has happened to everybody, right? Still happens to you now. If it wicks you out and then goes in your direction, why? Is it because maybe you're not being patient enough? Maybe you're entering too early. Therefore, it might be worth a while, maybe the next week, being a little bit more patient, waiting for price to come a little bit higher rather than being eager and jumping in. And then you can start to fix those bad habits. And then over time, you will see obviously that progress and those bad habits going out the window.
And the reality is this: everyone's gonna go through some losing streaks. So the way I view it is like this: if I'm on like, let's say if I lost, 1 day, 2 days in a row, depending how I feel on that 3rd day and how the market is kind of participating, is going to depend on what I'm going to trade that day. So if mentally I feel like distraught and I feel stressed, I'm going to take the day off no matter how great the market is, because if you're mentally not focused, you're not going to execute well anyways, so you might as well just take the day off. But if I feel like, okay, I lost 2 days in a row, but I followed my game plan and mentally I'm fine and the market is still providing me an opportunity, I'm going to go ahead and trade.
When I first started trading in 2019, I started with like a £200 account, and I thought that in a couple of weeks I would make it, and like I'm making profits and stuff. And literally, if I see a 10p drawdown, I would shit myself.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I can't lose this money. But I think the way I'm wired now is that losses are part of the game.
Of course.
Like, to be profitable,
right?
You can't think, okay, I'm 100% win rate. No,
for sure.
Winning doesn't equal profits.
Yeah.
Winners and losses equal profits.
Right.